So, the next day I woke up and headed off to the General Aviation Terminal in Schwäbisch Hall. As you can see, the place looks amazing, clean, professional, and very, very inviting. The Magnus was parked out on the apron and was waiting for me after a long night and a good sleep. The apron was empty and Magnus was sitting there all by herself. I got into Magnus, started her up, looked on their instruments, everything was looking good. To be honest, I was really excited. This was my second flight of this really long ferry flight all the way to the USA. The plan was to take off from Schwäbisch Hall, which is Adolf Worth Airport, from Germany, fly across the country north of Luxembourg into Belgium and land at Kortrijk Airport, Belgium. And I was excited. I slowly lined up Magnus onto the runway. The weather was looking really marginal. I was facing west, excited on runway 28, but I had decided to go. The show must go on. I slowly lined up, checked the instruments, and pushed the power. It's really good to feel that ULM engine, 107 horsepower, push that heavy Magnus down the runway. And within seconds, as you can see, I was already on rotation speed, which is basically takeoff speed. Slowly started pushing the stick backwards and lifting off the runway onto the next part of the journey. As you can see, passing the tower to the left and slowly climbing up. Magnus was very heavy that day, full of fuel, but still climbing as if there was nothing in the plane. Looking ahead of me, I could see that the weather was marginal, but the ground was visible and it was okay to fly. Magnus was climbing really nicely. Still, I was surprised by the handling of this aircraft, and I would be surprised in the next few days again. I was using to navigate the Sky Demon app, which is really amazing. You can see me here playing around with the Insta360 camera while I'm flying the plane with my hand. Of course you can't see the camera because it's on the stick and it's filming 360 degrees. Looking from the side, from the wingtip, I had another Insta camera. You can see me sticking out the camera on the stick, pitching up the nose in order for the aircraft to slow down so that I can hold the camera against the high speed wind. And then I pitch up the camera to get the right angle. I'm kind of guessing how to do this because I don't know what the camera can film. Later on, I would find a way to connect it to the mobile phone and then I could see exactly the frame I'm filming. I'm kind of a slow learner when it comes to video, and I would learn a lot on this flight. Here you can see me skimming the clouds. Right below the clouds, going up and down all the way to Belgium. The view was actually amazing for such a poor visibility day, and I loved every single moment of it. That's me singing inside the cockpit to keep myself busy. And then, when I would have to go below the clouds, I filmed this, and you can see me skimming right below the clouds with the Magnus. The performance, again, I have to say, kept on surprising me. How nimble this little aircraft is. So here you can see how I'm going below the clouds in order to remain in vision with the ground. I really had a good time looking around, seeing the beautiful plains of Germany and Belgium. As I got close to Kortrijk, Belgium, they told me that the ceiling was about 1,300. So I stayed below the clouds, and then when I got closer, they put me on holding because they had a larger aircraft coming in to land. For me it was great because I love playing around with the aircraft as I'm holding and waiting for my turn to come to land. Magnus was still pretty heavy. It was only a 3.5 hour flight, and yet with all that weight, the aircraft performed amazing. I was using these flights to see how the performance of the aircraft would be for the Atlantic. And here I am coming in to land with the aircraft at Kortrijk Airport. Kind of heavy still, but the performance was just great. Nice soft landing, and a few moments later I'm already parked at the customs authority in Belgium. I gotta say, I was in for another surprise because the customs officials and the passport control were so polite and so nice. They even let me charge my phones, my cameras, and offered me a coffee. I was surprised how friendly this airport is. You can see me here smiling a few moments before I meet these guys. The place is clean, professional, and the terminal even looks better. But that's for the next video. We'll see you later.